Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. I am full of energy because last week I read two self-help books, Grit and Unlimited Power, although I am not yet finished with Unlimited Power. This week will be 21st century literature. I'm gonna start with Turtles All the Way Down. If you still remember, the reason why I purchased this book, it's not because I love the FIOS, but I really like that book. I really like John Green. I cried a lot in the FIOS. But this one, I chose this book because of the title, Turtles All the Way Down. I was so enchanted by how other people still believe that the earth was on the back of a turtle and it's turtles all the way down. Yes. But I think it has nothing to do with that. So, to tell you honestly, even though this book is 1 year old, I have no idea what this book is all about, and I don't want to research because I want to be thrilled and get excited by the book. So, as you can see, it is still sealed. Let's unpack. I'm gonna cover the book first. Let's read. Honestly, I have just spent 1 hour in reading the book. I am just at chapter 4. But yeah, I feel a lot of emotions inside me. I can really feel it. That's why I hate reading fiction because I am a very emotional person and somehow characterization gets all over me. Okay, so before anything else, I know I'm excited, but I'm going to tell you that at first, chapter 1, I'm kind of bored because I gave up reading fiction because for me, I think it requires a lot of time and then after reading, I will get nothing. That thought came to me when I encountered self-help books. But reality check, I know I'm so in love with fiction because whenever time I read one, a lot of emotions are flowing inside me. Even though I cannot experience those emotions firsthand, at least I am able to relate with the characters. So, chapter 1. I kinda hate Asa Holmes. That's the protagonist's name. She is just so negative. And I have a lot of negativity in my life. I don't want to entertain more of negativity. That's why I also gave up reading fiction because I don't want any more negatives in my life. But yeah, I am reading it, so let's just go with the flow. And I feel like there's something wrong with her hormones because she has a doctor. Anyway, she is just so negative. She has a best friend named Daisy, which I find very irritating because she talks a lot and then she demands a lot to Asa. But yeah. And moving on in the story, Asa Holmes has an interesting childhood. She was somewhat related to a billionaire childhood friend. It so happened that today, the billionaire's father was missing. And there was $100,000 offer to tell the whereabouts of the missing person. So it was Daisy's idea to meet Asa's childhood friend. And yes, they actually met. Of course, together with Daisy, but to make it shorter, I think there was something ethereal with those two. But chapter 4 is just about their getting to know each other part. But I really feel excited and thrilled and in love with what will happen later. Yeah. Excuse me for my feelings, but you know, after last week's self-help books, it's all about success, how to be successful. Failure is not an end, but it's just an outcome. And then today, I will be encountering fictional world. You know, it's a lot of ideas, fantasies. I really feel like it's real, or I feel like it will also happen to me. But I am a grown up already. I know that's not true. So, yeah. I'm going back with Turtles All the Way Down. I'll see you later. It's Wednesday, 12:40 a.m. I am so hooked with Turtles All the Way Down. Right now, I'm at chapter 10. I think she overthinks a lot. She's negative still. That's her character. For me, everything is filler here until it came to the part where Davis offered Asa the $100,000 so she will not give the police any hints about his father's whereabouts. Currently, I feel sad given the fact that our protagonist is so negative. I also feel sad that children don't get enough love and attention from their parents. I still remember the time when I read The Fault in Our Stars. I cried a lot. So I hope John Green would not make me cry this time. But I don't know, I cry easily. We'll see in the chapters that will come. But I will sleep tonight because I feel like I want to eat and I don't want to eat. I'm on a diet. I will choose to sleep than to eat. Good night for now. Tomorrow I will read more because I'm so excited to see what will happen on the next chapters. I'll see you again. I can't believe I am already at chapter 17. Before I get too much excited, I would like to point out that Asa Holmes has a habit of cracking the callus of her finger open until it bleeds before she puts a band-aid in it. Every time she feels anxious, she will recheck her wound and then she will replace the band-aid again and again and again and again. She has a metaphor about it. It's a spiral, and instead of widening up, it is tightening down. That's her thoughts, especially about negative things and bacteria. And once she thinks about it, there's no way of stopping her. Asa and Davis are dating. They kiss a lot. It is always Asa who initiated the kiss, but every time she does that, she pulls him away. And then she will think that Davis' bacteria and microbiomes will get inside her body. And it's just so romantic because every time she is triggered by her anxiety, it feels like Davis understands her completely. I mean, Davis is a son of a millionaire and she's just an ordinary girl. I am beginning to like the story, but not like I'm obsessed with it. It's nice and I feel like I'm somewhat invading John Green's mind because in TFIOS, he talked about something like third space. When Hazel and Augustus are talking over the phone, he called that third space. And now, Davis and Asa are talking via FaceTime. He is calling that non-sensorial place. I think John Green has a thing for that. I like that because 21st century era, we are techies, technologists, and it's so true. You are talking to someone over the phone and it's not like you were both present physically, but it also feels like you are present physically. Anyway, this book has just 24 chapters. I think I'm gonna be finished with this in the next few hours, but I have other things to do. I will do some yoga and clean up myself and then read to sleep. I really wanted to finish this tonight. It's 2:05 a.m. I am already at chapter 22. I really have to stop. I know there's just 2 remaining chapters, but I really have to stop. I'm having goosebumps here. Anyway, I said I pick up this book because of the title Turtles All the Way Down. As I mentioned before, it was somewhat related in Stephen Hawking, A Brief History of Time, wherein there was an old woman who told that the earth was on the back of a giant turtle. And when the scientist asked him what's underneath the turtle, and then she said, it's turtles all the way down. I really don't think that John Green would relate that in his book, but it is. It really is. In chapter 21, just before it ended, Daisy and Asa were talking about that same scenario. the scientist and the old woman. And for me, it's like I should not make it a big thing, but I really feel it is because in this book, Davis is very much interested with science, with the universe, the sky, the stars. I really relate with that because I personally like physics, although I am not very good at it. But for starters, I have read How the World Works, Physics from Natural Philosophy to the Enigma of Dark Matter. And yes, I may say that I am somewhat relating with the black holes, the supernova, the galaxies, the stars, its names because of this book. Yes, I have finished reading this, but before I read this, I have encountered this really interesting book about physics, mind, and science in the 21st century. This is it. Reality and Empathy. I have read these three books last year. In this order, I have first read Reality and Empathy. Honestly, I freaked out because I can't really understand much about physics and I am so interested with it. So I've got this and it really enlightened my mind. It also suggests a book about Stephen Hawking, A Brief History of Time. I've got a hard time finding this book, but yeah, I have found it. So I have read these books last year. I have become so obsessed with it. So I'm really making a big deal out of the title Turtles All the Way Down. Yes, yes. So about Asa, I really empathize with her. She has a problem with her mind. She has these spiraling thoughts, and they use a metaphor which is turtles all the way down. It's infinite, it tightens you, and then there's no way out. That's Asa, that's her anxiety. And somehow I began to think about myself. Sometimes there are really things that are out of our control and all we have to do is go with the flow. But one thing is for sure, as for Asa, she always tend to look at things very negatively, but because we have our own thinking, we can choose to see things positively. And I think that's better than the other way around. Things are getting so much insane. Asa has an accident together with Daisy, but I'm really at the part when I'm about to end the book. And as I've said, I really find it hard to part with the book because I don't want to break up with all the books that I read. I know it's late, but I'm not yet sleepy. I will finish the remaining two chapters. But right now, I will really be honest. I'm not feeling good because of the book. I'm sad because of Asa and also sad because it will end already. But yeah, I will continue reading. It's 3:15 a.m. I'm done with the book. I'm done with the book and I'm so happy John Green ended the book the way he ended it. I feel I'm kinda weird because I don't like happy endings. Maybe that's why I also hate finishing reading a book because most of the books always ends with happy ending. But I don't think that's true for John Green because we all know The Fault in Our Stars is not a happy ending. And as well as this one, it's like a cliffhanger because it's kinda the reader will conclude what the ending is. So yeah, personally I have an issue with somebody dying. I don't really like the concept of death. So I will not really dwell too much on that. But all in all, Turtles All the Way Down is a nice book, especially in the ending. It's all about reflection. It really reflects life. I really had a nice time reading the book and I feel like I want to read more of John Green's book. Yes, but right now all I want is a peaceful sleep. It's time to say goodnight. Good night.